people eat plants that they think are fine and maybe don't give them digestive issues, but then lead to like organ failure. And so a lot of times the things that are toxic are gonna sneak up on you. I don't know if this is edible, and plants could kill you, so I'm gonna do a toxicity test. I'm here on a 3-day solo survival challenge, and I wanna know, can I eat this? Knowing what's edible or toxic can honestly and obviously make or break your survival situation. Anyway, let's go learn how not to die. First, you need to separate the plant into its different parts. The leaves should be separate from the stems, from the buds, the flowers, the roots. Focus on one part at a time. At this point, you'll be naturally inclined to smell the thing, so smell the thing. The hard thing about this in survival is like when I smell it, I just smell campfire. So, all right, I'm gonna try it this way. Next, you want to test for contact poisoning by putting a piece of the plant on your wrist or inner elbow, somewhere with sensitive skin. Wait about 8 hours. If there's any itching, numbness, or burning, wash it off. Don't do anything else with the plant. It's not edible. This has like a very faint, honestly smells kind of sweet, but just looking at this, I mean, the texture's hard. Another thing that's not really part of this protocol, but is a good thing to keep in mind, is that if there's a lot of whatever you're looking at, for example, these are everywhere. If they're all over the place, that means the animals aren't eating them, which generally means you probably can't eat it either. That's not always true, but it's just something to keep in mind. Another interesting tip is that, so about 80% of blue and purple berries are edible. About half of red berries are edible, and less than a quarter of yellow and white berries are edible. So just keep that in mind as you're going through this experiment. But I did my smell test, it smelled fine. Let's do the rub test one more time. If you pass the skin test, you can prepare a small portion the same way you would plan to eat it. And if you're not sure, I highly recommend boiling it. Before you bite, take the plant and touch it to your lips, right? This is after the skin test. Touch it to your lips. Ow, kind of a pokey berry. Notice if there's any burning, itching, numbness. If there's no reaction, after about 15 minutes, take a small bite, chew it, hold it in your mouth for a bit, and keep it in your mouth for like 15 minutes. And I mean just like a very small bite. This is how much I have. Sorry for the bad manners. Leave it in your mouth for 15 minutes. Same thing, if it's bitter, soapy, numb, tingling, spit it out. Don't eat it. All the tests I've done on this plant so far are fine. And I honestly have no idea what this tree is called. I've never seen this berry. It's a reddish purple, so odds are it's a little edible, or odds are I can eat it. But I mean, just by the texture and the lack of smell and how like hard and dry it is, I don't think it's gonna bring me a lot of nutrients. So it's very much like a survival food. Maybe. Let's do the first taste test and find out. No. Ugh. Immediately soapy and salty. Oh, actually, this is weird. This is new. It's got a really good aftertaste. It's kind of what I was like smelling. All right, I'm gonna chew this much. I'm gonna leave it in my mouth for about 15 minutes. But if you're doing good so far, you have one last step to know for sure if you can eat this. Okay, went for a walk. I am gonna say this is not safe to eat. There's no burning, there's no tingling, but there's a certain like, I don't know the word, like dryness, like it's almost bitter. It's not bitter, but, and this is the thing, is sometimes you're not gonna say like, oh, that's bitter, oh, that hurts my tongue. but you have it and you're just like, that's not, my body doesn't love that. And you gotta listen to that. In survival and in life, it is really easy in moments of desperation to make concessions to your safety. It's really easy to say like, oh, well, it's not that bad, it's not killing me, so I'll just do it a little more, I'll just have a little more. But what I love about being out here in the wild and practicing these principles in the wild is that it really is life or death. But like, isn't it cool that nature has given us everything we need to identify what's toxic and what's good for us? Why is it so much harder to identify toxic people and situations? Well, the truth is, it's actually not that different, and it starts with using this one other simple, primitive survival principle that helps you get your bearings, check your gut, and importantly, take empowered action. All right, back to the last step. If there's no reaction in your mouth, swallow the bite after the 15-minute wait and wait 8 hours. Don't eat any more, just that small bite. If there's no bad effect in your body, the plant is good. You can increase the amount you're eating, triple the amount you had, make sure you're good, and then you're good to eat, good to go, not toxic. You're chilling, you're surviving, you're thriving.